We tested chicken from 12 stores, including Walmart, Costco, Target, and 9 others. And most failed as the story begins with the chicken you made last night. You did everything right with a fresh package and reasonable price. But the moment it hit the pan, liquid rushed out and it did not sizzle or turn golden. Instead, it started cooking in its own water and shrank, turning a large full piece into something small and disappointing right before your eyes. You did nothing wrong because the chicken performed exactly as it was made to perform. And the most surprising part is that the worst result came not from the cheapest store, it came from one of the most loved and trusted names in America. A store you may have visited this week, and it finished in last place. Before we begin, write the store where you usually buy chicken in the comments. Just the first name that comes to mind. And by the end, you will see exactly where it landed. 2 packages can look almost identical with the same color, size, and price. But one is mostly real meat, while the other contains added water that the front label never reveals. The rule of this video is simple. The front is marketing and the back is the truth. And we judged all 12 stores equally with no bias or guessing as we begin the countdown of 9 that failed. Number 9, Tyson. Let us start with the biggest name in the chicken aisle, a brand that instantly feels trusted and dependable. And many Tyson products are indeed fine. But Tyson teaches a hard grocery lesson because the most important words are not the brand name but the product name printed below it. Some packages use quiet wording that can mislead, such as chicken breast, containing up to 15% solution of water, salt, and natural flavoring, meaning it is injected or soaked. This is not a mistake, but part of the product. So what looks like plain chicken is actually pre-treated with salty liquid that you pay meat prices for. The simple fix is to ignore the logo and read the exact product line, where chicken breast is fine, but chicken breast with solution reveals the real difference. Why skip it? Breaded or frozen lines often contain fillers. Sub-brands make labels harder to read. And enhanced cuts increase sodium per serving. Number 8, Aldi. Now the story shifts because many expect the cheapest store to mean the lowest quality. Yet Aldi often performs better than its price suggests. Its Never Any line offers no antibiotics, no animal byproducts in feed, and a clean, straightforward label that delivers solid quality for the cost. Aldi does not try to look fancy. It simply gives decent value without charging for branding, which is why it surprises many shoppers. One common confusion is the no added hormones label, which appears special, but actually applies to all chicken in the United States by law. Aldi appears lower on the list mainly because its cheapest packs skip the better line. While choosing Never Any often means a smarter buy, why skip it? The cheapest packs often miss the Never Any upgrade. Stock varies by location, and sourcing details are limited. The key lesson is that the next store can sell 2 very different chickens in the same aisle, and most shoppers pick the wrong one without noticing. Number 7, Kroger. Kroger feels dependable, but the truth is it works like 2 stores in one aisle, depending on which package you pick up. The standard chicken is placed in front, often on sale and easy to grab, but it is plain and forgettable once the meal is done. The simple truth line. However, offers no antibiotics and a cleaner label, and it is often sitting right beside the regular option. Kroger does not fail because its best chicken is bad, but because most people reach for the first option they see without checking further. This creates a system where the faster choice is rewarded, while the better choice remains just a short distance away on the same shelf. The lesson here is simple. Stop asking if the store is good and start asking which package is good, because the answer changes within 3 feet. Why skip it? Shoppers often grab standard packs instead of simple truth. House brands give limited sourcing detail, and sales push standard cuts. Number 6, Members Mark. Sam's Club is about bulk savings, and Members Mark delivers large quantities of chicken at a lower price per pack. But bulk buying hides a problem because whatever small issue exists in one pack becomes multiplied across the entire case you bring home. A few ounces of added water may seem minor in a single tray, but in bulk it becomes real weight you pay full chicken price for over and over. The savings you expect can quietly shrink if you do not check closely, because small differences scale up when you buy in large volumes. This does not make Members Mark bad. It simply means bulk purchases amplify every detail, both good and bad, in a way smaller packs do not. Before filling your cart, always read the label carefully, because at this size it determines whether the deal is smart or quietly expensive. Why skip it? Large trays multiply added water, membership costs add to total spending, and sealed bulk packs are harder to fully inspect. Number 5, Perdue. This one hurts a little because Purdue has built a strong reputation over time, and it feels reasonable to assume it is trusted, careful, and a step above many others. In some ways it is, as Purdue does have cleaner processing standards, and its no antibiotics ever line can be a genuinely good choice when selected intentionally. However, reputation and reality do not always meet on the shelf. Because many standard Purdue chicken packs are still produced in the same ordinary way as other brands, the famous name does not always mean a better process. It mainly builds confidence, and that confidence often makes shoppers stop reading the label carefully. That is the trap, because the brand you trust most is often the one you check least, causing you to lower your guard exactly where attention matters most. The key is to buy Purdue's better line on purpose instead of defaulting to the regular pack, trusting the label more than the brand name itself. Why skip it? Many shelves lack air-chilled options. Marinated cuts may contain hidden sodium, and front claims are stronger than back label details. The last 4 stores are the ones shoppers trust the most. And as we move closer to number 1, that trust begins to break, ending with a chain few expect. Number 4, Food Lion. Some stores feel familiar, smaller, and friendlier, creating the impression that the chicken must be more local and wholesome than it really is. That feeling is the trap, because a warm logo or regional name is not a sourcing guarantee, but simply marketing that creates a sense of trust. Food Lion's everyday chicken is often the same standard product found in larger chains, just wrapped in a friendlier store identity and presentation. The local feeling appears on the sign and in advertising, not on the back of the package, where the actual sourcing information is usually limited. To be fair, Food Lion does offer better lines, but they are often out of stock or harder to find, while basic packs get most of the attention. A store may feel local and welcoming, but that feeling should never replace checking the label, because friendliness does not equal better sourcing. Why skip it? Local appearance does not guarantee local sourcing. Premium lines are often limited, and basic options usually have minimal label detail. Number 3, Safeway. This brand reveals one of the most important lessons in the entire video, which is that what is missing on a label matters as much as what is printed. Many shoppers assume a large established supermarket automatically means better chicken, so they grab the standard Safeway pack without checking closely. But when you look at the label, search for the term air-chilled. And on most basic Safeway chicken, that word is missing entirely. That absence is meaningful because when a company uses a better cooling process, it highlights it clearly. Since air-chilled processing costs more, so when the word is missing, it usually indicates the cheaper standard method was used, and the packaging avoids drawing attention to that fact. Safeway does offer stronger lines like open nature, but on basic packs you must read the absence of claims because missing words reveal the truth. Why skip it? Open nature is priced higher than standard packs. Sourcing details remain limited, and better lines are not always consistently available. Number 2, Walmart. We are almost there. And this spot is all about your wallet, because the belief is simple. It is Walmart. It is cheap. And a deal is a deal. But this is where cheap quietly stops being cheap, because much standard chicken is cooled in large tanks of cold water and absorbs some of that water before packaging. That absorbed water is then listed in small print as may contain up to a percentage of retained water, meaning part of what you pay for is already inside the meat. So a 5-pound family pack with around 10% water means you are effectively paying for half a pound of water at full chicken price without noticing it. Do this every week across a year, and real grocery money goes toward liquid that disappears as steam in the pan, proving the lowest sticker price is not always the lowest true cost. At Walmart, cheap can quietly mean you are buying more water than most other stores on this list without realizing it at checkout. Why skip it? Huge volume reduces sourcing detail. Rotating suppliers create uneven quality, and the lowest price often comes with the least transparency. And now, number 1, the worst score did not go to the cheapest store, but to one of the most loved and trusted names in America, which is exactly why it failed the hardest. Number 1, Target. Premium look, ordinary process. Here is the shock. Because Target is one of the most trusted brands in America, and its packaging looks premium and carefully designed. That visual trust is the problem, because beneath the clean, modern design, Target's standard chicken is produced in the same ordinary way as many budget packs on the market. The packaging raises expectations, but the actual product matches the same low standard as others. While the label reveals very little about where the bird truly came from, this is number 1, not because it is unsafe or terrible, but because the gap between appearance and reality is larger than expected, even though many families are satisfied with it. A cheap brand doing this is expected, but a polished and trusted brand delivering the same result while looking premium creates the biggest disappointment of all. The prettier the front looks, the more it relies on you not turning it over, which is the central lesson that the front is marketing and the back is truth. Why skip it? Grocery is not the main focus. Meat selection is limited. You pay for design rather than better chilling, and few air-chilled options are available. So why do 9 different stores repeat the same pattern? And to understand that, we have to look at how chicken itself quietly changed over time in the industry. The chicken illusion begins by imagining 60 years ago when meat came from local farms and butchers, and people often knew who prepared their food directly. Then demand for chicken grew rapidly as people wanted more of it at lower prices, forcing small farms out and pushing production into large centralized processing systems. Speed became the priority as millions of birds were processed together, and plants needed a fast cooling method which led to large shared tanks of cold water. Birds were chilled quickly in those tanks, making production fast, cheap, and consistent, and that water chilling system became the foundation of today's industry. Air-chilled chicken is cooled slowly with cold air while separated, meaning no water absorption, while water-chilled chicken absorbs roughly 8 to 12% of its weight. That absorbed water remains inside the package, explaining the liquid in the pan, the lack of browning, and the shrinking that was never about your cooking. Over time, everything became standardized with similar packaging, color, and shape, making different stores' chicken look identical even when quality and composition differ. As production scaled up, the farm story disappeared, the butcher disappeared, and labels became logos, weights, and prices, trading transparency for speed and convenience. So remember these 4 lines because they contain the entire truth of the modern meat aisle, where chicken once came directly from a farm, but now often comes from a centralized processing system. The package still says chicken, but it rarely explains how that chicken became this final product, as convenience increased while transparency slowly disappeared from the label. Most shoppers believe they are buying chicken when in reality they are buying a process. And none of this is a scandal or unsafe, but simply hidden by design for speed. The system is not trying to fool you. It is optimized for efficiency. And that focus on speed naturally removes the full story from what you see on the package. Now that you understand the illusion, you can beat it yourself without any ranking system. And before revealing the 3 best stores, here are 3 simple kitchen tests you can try tonight. 3 kitchen tests, and you do not need a lab. Only these simple checks that reveal how much water and processing are hidden inside different chicken packages. Test 1 is the paper towel test, where you press chicken from 2 packages onto paper and the watered piece quickly soaks it while the drier one stays mostly clean. That difference shows how much liquid you are paying for, because more wetness means more retained water, and the towel reveals what the label does not. Test 2 is the pan test, where you cook both pieces side by side, and one sizzles and browns while the other releases liquid and steams instead of searing. That steaming puddle is water leaving the meat, while browning indicates real chicken structure, showing the difference between water-heavy and properly chilled meat. Test 3 is the shrink test, where you weigh before and after cooking, and water-heavy chicken loses the most weight, while air-chilled retains more size on the plate. That difference is the money you either keep or lose every single time. And after these tests, you will judge chicken by sight rather than packaging claims. Now you can spot a winner yourself. So let us highlight the 3 stores that make it easier by putting more truth directly onto the label. We are counting down from 3 to 1, starting with number 3, Whole Foods. Often seen as expensive, but actually stronger in information and processing standards. Fresh chicken at Whole Foods is air-chilled, a detail many other stores fail to print clearly, meaning less water and more actual meat per package. It is also certified under animal welfare standards with clear rules for raising conditions, including no cages, reduced crowding, and stricter handling practices. This is a real signal rather than marketing, because you are paying for meat instead of tank water, so more of what you buy ends up on your plate. For similar quality elsewhere, Smart Chicken is a fully air-chilled option, often organic and antibiotic-free, staying clean and dry in the package while cooking crisply. Why choose it? Butcher countercuts fresh to order. Stricter standards reduce additives, and staff can directly explain sourcing in detail. Number 2, Costco. The belief is that Costco is just bulk and basic. But the reality is that it quietly upgraded much of its Kirkland chicken to air-chilled. That air-chilled upgrade appears on many packages without increasing price. meaning you often get a premium process at a warehouse value level. However, it is not consistent across every cut or every visit. So some packs may differ, and you must read the label each time you shop carefully. The key is not the brand name, but the air-chilled tag itself. Because when it appears, it represents one of the best values in the entire meat aisle. Why choose it? Strong return policy. Vacuum-sealed packaging freezes well, and quality remains consistent across many warehouse locations nationwide. And the number one winner is not the biggest brand or the cheapest option. And that is exactly why it stands above everything else on this list. Number one, Bell & Evans. The common belief is that the winner must be a giant national brand that everyone already knows. But here, that idea does not hold true. The winner is actually the brand that hides almost nothing. And Bell & Evans is 100% air-chilled. Not partially or mostly, but fully air-chilled in every product. That means the package can honestly say no retained water, with no watered-down weight, so every ounce you pay for is real meat instead of added liquid. It goes further than that because the birds are raised without antibiotics. The brand carries animal welfare certification, and it clearly explains the process from farm to package. When you cook it, it behaves like real chicken should. It sears, browns, and crisps properly while staying plump instead of shrinking in the pan. It may cost more at first, but you are not paying for water. And that makes the real price per pound of meat much closer to cheaper options than it seems. Bell & Evans wins because it puts the full story directly on the label. And once you can read that story, you do not need one winner, because you can spot good chicken anywhere. Why choose it? Slow growth birds often create firmer texture. Clean grain feed avoids low-quality byproducts. And decades of antibiotic-free farming improve consistency. 4 myths to let go of. Myth 1. Expensive chicken is always better, which is false because some high-priced packs are still water-chilled, while some warehouse options like Costco, Kirkland, air-chilled can outperform them for less. Price alone tells you very little, while the label tells you almost everything you actually need to know about quality and processing. Myth 2. Natural means no artificial ingredients and minimal processing. But a natural chicken can still be water-chilled and carry added water. So natural is not the same as air-chilled. Myth 3. All chicken cooks the same, which is false because air-chilled chicken browns and crisps, while water-chilled chicken steams and shrinks, creating completely different results from the same recipe. Myth 4. More juice in the package means fresher chicken, but it often means the opposite because that extra liquid is usually water absorbed during chilling, not freshness. A clean, dry package is often the better sign of real quality than a wet one sitting in liquid. The 5-second shelf checklist. Here is the entire video reduced into a simple system you can use in the store in 5 seconds. So screenshot this and apply it tonight. Step 1. Flip it over. Never buy chicken based on the front alone because the front is marketing while the back contains the real truth. Step 2. Look for the words air-chilled. And if you see them, it is a green light. But if they are missing, you should assume water-chilled. Step 3. Check the water line and look for may contain up to a percentage of retained water, where lower is better and none is best. Step 4. Read the full product name carefully, because with solution means injected salt water, while simple chicken breast usually indicates a cleaner product. Step 5. Look for real signals like farm names or verified welfare certifications, because real transparency always leaves visible evidence, while cartoons do not count. 5 steps in 5 seconds. And after repeating it twice, it becomes automatic whenever you shop. Conclusion. Most stores like Target, Walmart, Safeway, and Food Lion failed for similar reasons, even if each one did it differently in practice. 3 stand out more clearly: Whole Foods, Costco, Kirkland, and Bell & Evans, because they consistently put more truth directly on the package. But this is not about fear, because no chicken here is unsafe. And every store still has better options if you know how to read the label correctly. The goal was never to avoid the meat aisle, but to give you a new way of seeing what is actually inside each package before you buy it. Next time you are in front of the case, you will not guess. You will flip the package. Look for air-chilled. Check the waterline and read the full name. 5 seconds is all it takes, because the front is marketing, the back is truth. And reading labels works for life, while rankings only work once. So tell me in the comments whether your store made the list. I read every one, and I will see you in the next test.